I have the pleasure to share two. Glenn Bryant, based on residency, had to leave us, and he didn't go too far. He's moved back to Howard. So Glenn shared with me his past year evaluation. He too rated Scott with a proficient, consistent category in all four major standards. Glenn writes, I personally feel that Scott Carpenter has done a fine job with a huge number of varying responsibilities. The construction alone was a full-time job, but add the merging of two faculties and the development of an exceptional program of studies in fending off contentious taxpayer representatives, this is Glenn's words, and all other demands shows his level of professional skills. He has an even-tempered, straightforward demeanor that is effective and respectful. His great sense of humor keeps in perspective, and it is a pleasure to work with him. If I have a comment that's anything other than positive, it would be to encourage him to be more genuine in his recognition of achievements by students and staff, and to be sure his principals keep him informed of any and all accomplishments. I'm sure that many categories of proficient can become exemplary when he has had more time with brand new principals and a chance to gain additional student data. That's Glenn's comment. I too will just highlight two areas. I rated Scott in all categories except one as proficient. As far as the transition of the two major schools as well as construction, I listed it exemplary. Also, I listed as highly met in the area of curriculum development, primarily the professional leaders community, that creation of that. And I recognize that's a multi-year evaluation, but I sense that that's a critical piece to cause the ability to raise the expectations for kids in a kind of an incremental way, rather than just demanding. Two comments I made, one regarding the first standard of goal, transition of the regional high school and the regional middle school. Based on evidence and demonstrated in public forums, news coverage, and building committee meetings over the past year, Superintendent Carpenter met and exceeded the outlined tasks and action steps relating to the Monomoy Regional High School construction project. Scott, with a high degree of commitment, guided the construction of the $50 million regional high school, as well as the middle school transition, which resulted in as a highly integration of the total district operation, forming two separate school districts into one unified whole, as well as blending two separate high school, middle school faculties and students into a brand new setting and creating a challenging new curriculum has been skillfully planned and accomplished. This first phase of regional unification has exceeded expectations. My closing comment on the summary, I phrased it thus. Superintendent Carpenter's overall goal is to move the Monomoy region from good to great. Year 1, 2013-14, as it relates to this challenging goal, has been most successful. Scott has signaled and articulated to staff, students, and the community at large a new call to high expectations. His people skills highlighted in a straightforward demeanor has struck a chord, a can-do attitude among staff and students. I look forward to further professional growth and creative educational initiatives which will positively impact our schools. So, and as I said, I rate that as a overall proficient. So it's good to have a unanimous judgment amongst our members. I think you, Scott, in this past year, your efforts made our attempts to make a judgment that much easier.
Thank you. And I appreciate all your comments. I think the one thing I just want to emphasize, I think Stephen hit on best. You're only as good as the team you're surrounded by. And yeah, I've got the best curriculum coordinator around, got the best business director around, and more than anything, I've got the best boss sitting at the end of the table here. No. Not you. Not you.
I know.
It's like I sometimes joke that I'm a drone, and Barbara's actually the one in control.
Very good. Just before moving on, Terry 2 weeks ago made a statement about our mission statement, and how we're hopefully going to blend that and maybe polish it up now that we do have two options. And I mentioned that in my little experience in college, I visited a core value statement that impressed me. And I thought it kind of captured in 3 words a powerful way to cause staff and kids in the next 10 years to be a symbol of this experience called, in this case, school. It could be home. So Brian nicely asked me what were those 3 words, and I was unable to come up with even one of them. So it really made a dramatic effect. So I asked my boss to locate it for me. My wife did. Actually, not 3 words, but there were 6. And it kind of captures what we may, and not these words, but captures what a committee in the next year might want to do as they attach it to a mission statement. The first one was as a core value, pursuing truth. Secondly, achieving excellence. And lastly, transforming lives. And how important those are in and of themselves. How often, even as parents, we say, have I transformed my own kids' lives to one degree or another? So exciting. So thank you, Mrs. Russell, for finding these. And I wanted to correct myself and say that it was worth me going back and trying to find them. So maybe we'll have some use of these words or even better ones in the next year as we develop it. We are moving now on to subcommittee reports. We are almost through with the moving on towards the subcommittee reports. We're all pretty much caught up with what our tasks are, okay. Superintendent's report.
I'll just be brief and on this one. In addition to sending out an email to parents about the next Tuesday's forum on school safety, I also included in that a number of dates to do what I had done last year, which is make myself available to to have feedback from parents. So on November 14th, I will hopefully work with Adam O'Shea. There's a movie night happening at Chatham Elementary School, and maybe I could convince some parents to come talk with me while their children watch Frozen or whatever.
If it's Frozen, I'm pretty sure you're going to have a big turnout of parents.
for the 15th time. And then we'll do a similar thing at Harwich Elementary School in December. January, I'll be at here at the high school, and then we'll try an afternoon event at the middle school in February. But again, just wanting to hear from parents, some feedback on how we're doing, and also share with them where I see us going.
So you have them at each school, but you did say further in the email that just because your child does not go to Chatham Elementary, you can still attend
Right.
Chatham Elementary School's forum. It's not a Chatham Elementary forum.
Because your child might not have seen whatever movie. But yeah,
You don't have to bring your kid to the movie.
Exactly. It's the conversations will be pertinent no matter what school your child attends. I also had a conversation with the admin team, and we've been bouncing around the concept with the committee on having sort of a joint administrative team school committee retreat to talk about things like mission and strategic plans and challenges ahead, and how do we deal with those challenges. On our calendars, we saw sort of school committee time on November 5th. We don't have a meeting on Wednesday, November 5th, and wanted to propose November 5th, if that works for your calendars, to potentially meet. Ideally, if we could start somewhere around 5 o'clock, we could convene here.
That's right when the mask conference is.
Then maybe that's not a good date.
Yeah,
Is there meetings at night?
it goes all day and night for 3 days. That's the first day of it.
Should we see what things they're having that or we could go for another, I can pull them for another date. I don't know if Wednesdays, we were trying to shoot for a Wednesday that might be something that,
So is this in, like, we were going to do a day together to
right, so
plan
we
for
were
next year?
thinking if we were to do like a 5 to 10 o'clock, that we could chat about
Well, we-
direction and goals and strategy on getting there.
We had decided as a school committee, I think, that we were going to do half the time with the administrative and half the time not.
Oh, trust me, they want to get out sometime,
But
and
you
not
want
stay
us to
till.
do late
let's
in
say
the
10.
night, our part. I don't know. I'd rather do it for more of a whole day on a Saturday or something. That's probably not everyone's preference,
Saturday's a work day for me.
or
Family
someday.
day.
How many of us are attending the mass conference?
I'm just going on Friday.
And you're going, aren't you, Scott? No?
I'm going on certain days, but I'll be here more than there.
That evening, there's a keynote dinner.
I took the whole day off from work to do this.
So it looks like we're gonna have to find another date. I think the balance of it, I don't know if we, in my recollection, we didn't decide to have a split time with the school committee and the administrative team. I don't think we ever came to a conclusion, but that was raised. So if we want to proceed on that, I guess we need another date down the line that it could accommodate all of us, the administrators as well as everyone here. So we'll have to go back to our calendars.
Try to. Are Wednesdays generally good if it's a non-school committee Wednesday?
Yes. Yeah, but I think 5 hours is too much. I think we will be non-productive after about 3. Maybe we could have a recess.
Be a little slack out
Like
there.
tonight. Oh, seriously, because everybody will have already put in full work day, and then, you know,
Maybe we could have 2 days on Wednesdays, where the first day, for a couple hours, we could meet with the administration. And the second day, on another Wednesday, we could meet for another few hours ourselves.
One of the things I just want to be sensitive to, and I mean, we're still early enough in the budget season that, but one of the key things that we need to really wrestle with, and I've directed the admin team that that we need to look at what we would recommend in terms of plugging a gap in school choice dollars, and that's what we have to do to come up with the if this then that option. It's and none of them are suggestions that we would like to see happen, but we at least need to present that and have you wrestle with it and understand it, and we need to do that earlier in this budget conversation than later, because I do think that there needs to be some significant forecasting and steering earlier on, and not have this be a January surprise.
What about Tuesday the 4th instead of Wednesday the 5th? Because I know you have to clear it with the admin team, but
Election day, that would be okay.
it doesn't take long to vote.
The community center anyway.
That's fine with me. How about Ed? What does the 4th?
That's fine, 5 o'clock, that would be fine.
Yep.
I will, if it works for you all, I will bounce it off the admin team, and then we can, I could work with the chair and co-chair at developing an agenda that need not be 5 hours long, but can be focused. And I know that on our end, we'll come in having done our homework in advance to sort of share with you, thoughts on vision, direction, goals, and we're gonna, we've agreed to roll up our sleeves and have tough conversations, starting actually it's, I believe our next admin meeting is that Tuesday the 4th, so this will be very fresh in terms of, our own discussions on that topic.
Let's tentatively say the 4th, and in a day or 2 or 3, Scott will get back to me, and I'll get the word out to everybody that's a go. And we'll have spaghetti pie
That's what we're gonna try for.
for
I have celiac.
I see our action items, I think we've already voted for the CVAC initiative.
Yep.
So I would entertain an adjournment, and also we have scheduled a executive session.
Can I just bring one thing up?
Sure.
So evidently I learned today, and maybe you all did, about the, that we have some email that's a school email on the website. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's a, would it be possible, I'm sure it is possible to get that to be forwarded to our own emails.
You can get it on your phone.
Yeah, I want to get it on my phone, because
It's
to go to the school, I don't want to have to go to something.
Yeah, I think you should be able to work with Deb to.
It's a
set
little
up-
wizard, it's really
Okay,
easy.
I emailed her already, but I haven't heard anything. So
This surface,
Deb's on vacation at
Oh,
the moment.
good reason.
to be honest.
be patient on that. This surfaced because I had a need to access my account on that. And it just wasn't working, and finally, with the help of Barbara, but also my wife, we had to call Comcast, and it seemed to affect our telephone as well as our computer, but finally, it was a separate standing, and once you're in, it's easy with your own name as a password to get into it. So, all right, what I plan to do is just monitor it each day so that I'm not missing any emails.
Well, from my other businesses, I have everything sent to my own personal account. And it's great, because if you don't, with your businesses or the school, you don't have to get, people don't have to know your personal
If
email.
that's possible, that's great.
Yeah, it's all forwarded, it's all easy, and that way you can get it in minutes. So that would be great. When's Deb come back?
I'll tell you
The
about
next
it,
few
you
days.
can actually get it on your phone, it comes right to your phone.
Okay, it's great. It's just evidently people are emailing or something, and you don't have any way of getting that.
You can go on your computer.
Could I have a motion to,
I move that we adjourn the regular meeting and go into executive session, discuss strategy with respect to non-union contracts.
Second?
all in favor of that? Could I have an individual yes and no vote?
Aye.
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 Aye,
Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Going into executive session, and won't be returning